Man of God, how do you feel at the moment? It's been a long road.
The only thing I can say, I thank God. I thank God. I give him all praise. I am 67 by July, next July. I've been in prison for 80 years. For 80 years.
Are you looking to maybe, take legal action forward, seeing as you're not guilty and you've spent so many years?
I think it's better for me to rest first.
Yeah.
I've been in prison for 80 years at this age. So I think we should give some time for that.
Pastor, sorry, what's the first thing you want to do when you get out of prison after 8 years?
Only God can tell me. When it is time, God will speak to me.
The JDI structure further consists of pastors, associate pastors, evangelists, and secretaries. The income of the church is inter alia derived from donations, tithing, and television appearances of Accused 1. Accused 2 and 3 are personal assistants of Accused 1. Accused 1 also had another personal assistant, Fezeka, who had left the country prior to the accused's arrest. In Umhlanga, the JDI had a mission house where young girls would gather, pray together, and practice choir, eat, and stay. All the complainants joined the church at various times from different regions and branches. It is common course that during services there were testimonies how Accused 1 allegedly healed people, and people had financial breakthroughs through his interventions. The complainants were either recruited to go to Durban by their local pastors or Fezeka, or Accused 2 and Accused 3, after Accused 1 displayed an interest in them. All the complainants became members of the church and went to Umhlanga, where they stayed in the mission house to develop their music skills, to pray and healing. Some went there to complete their education or to further their studies. Their transport costs to Umhlanga were paid, and transport was arranged by Fezeka or their local pastor or Accused 2 and 3. Accused 1 is a self-taught musician, playing different instruments he used in accompanying the choirs. He considered himself a prophet, and he was seen as one by his congregation members. He professed to heal the sick and to perform miracles. Testimony was given that if one of the pastors died, he would tell the congregants that it was because the deceased had not listened to him. The JDI has branches in all 9 provinces of the country. The headquarters of the JDI is in Durban, with a mission house in Umhlanga. The church holds crusades in different centers of the country, which crusades are attended by the members who come from all branches and regions to attend such crusades. Sometimes Accused 1 preached live from Durban on televised services. At services, the so-called miracles Accused 1 performed were shown on TV screens. All the complainants were members or attended services in the different branches, and in this way were persuaded to join the GDI. Once a complainant is introduced to Accused 1 or given his cell phone number, she is required to send and text messages to him regularly. The complainants were given money or sent money to enable them to go to Umhlanga by bus, or in exceptional circumstances to fly there. The complainants largely became members of singing groups, the Grace Galaxy or the Chrysalids, that performed at the crusades and travelled with the accused to various centres. At the mission house, the complainants stayed in groups in different rooms, and there were at times approximately 25 girls in the mission house. There they engaged in music and singing practice, prayer sessions, they played games and had individual appointments with Accused 1. According to the complainants, they were then individually summoned to his room by one of his personal assistants after being ordered to shower and clean themselves. In his room, they were ordered to close the door, and there they kneeled before him where he sat on the bed. They were then to massage his feet. The issues in the trial largely centered on what happened inside the room of accused one in the mission house and at the other centers where they attended crusades. It is common cause that the complainants massaged his feet. According to the complainants, it is generally during these appointments when he sexually assaulted them or raped them after coaxing them onto his bed. After the sexual assault, he ordered them to his bathroom to clean themselves. These scenes repeated themselves, and some of the complainants were repeatedly sexually assaulted or raped. It is a recurring theme that some left the mission house but returned on their own volition. I view the explanations of the accused are improbable, and I don't subjectively believe them. However, due to the uncertainty of the actions of the state and the lack of proper cross-examination, I cannot find that the accused version are so improbable that they cannot reasonably possibly be true. The accused bore no onus to convince the court of their innocence. I am of the view, in the light of all the circumstances of the case, that the state has not proved its case beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes! Quiet, please.
The accused are found not guilty and are discharged on all the charges. The court will adjourn.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Jones, Why Not TV. Please subscribe. Bye for now till we meet again next time. Subscribe, please. Don't forget to like and to comment. Thank you very much.
Dr. Jones, Why Not TV.
Goodbye till we meet again next time. Subscribe.